Today I want to talk about something that's important and I don't even know if you're aware of, and it's something that's certainly influencing me lately and something that has become, I guess, an issue within the spiritual wellness community, and one that I certainly want you to be aware of because it can affect the way that you follow people, but also it's a lesson for how you bring the lessons that we share as teachers, as leaders, as guides in this community, how you bring those lessons into your own life and how you can apply them and integrate them into your own practices. I just got off the phone, a very long Skype phone call with Rachel Ricketts. If you don't know her, she is an amazing, amazing social justice teacher. She specializes in talking about grief. She's brilliant, she's smart, she's funny, she's fierce. It's Rachel Ricketts on Instagram, and I will put her link in the comments and then also in the video description after we're done talking. We were talking about books and navigating the social justice space, navigating the spiritual wellness space, because she's also, her work overlaps and goes into that space, and how frustrating it is when you see people who are not doing the work or doing work that causes harm, and how to deal with that, how to navigate those murky waters of people who might not be in integrity. And it's really interesting what came out of the conversation. Obviously, I'm not going to share like everything that we talked about in our private conversation, but I'll say from my side, it's interesting for me to look at other leaders in this space and have to come to a reckoning or an understanding, almost a surrender to the fact that people aren't perfect. And that even though people aren't perfect or totally good, or the work that they do is sometimes like not so great according to you, and or it's not aligned with your values, that it doesn't have to be perfect to necessarily work for you. That there is some necessity in separating the teacher from what they teach. And I'm not talking about people that are totally out of integrity or people that are just really just doing bad in the world, right? Like they're just out of, they're teaching something that they don't even practice or believe, but really understanding that everyone is a human being with their own stuff, and that you can take lessons without taking the entire body of work. And this is why when I come to you, I always say, take what works for you and just throw out the rest. What doesn't resonate with you, then it means it wasn't for you at this time. I try very hard in my work and in the way that I communicate to be inclusive and to welcome everyone in and to say I love you and that I see you and I acknowledge you. And even though I don't walk your path, I certainly can't live in your skin or understand all of the things that you deal with in a day, good and bad. I want to at least be open to hearing your experiences as truth, and I want my work to serve you. Maybe not at this point in your life, but at some place you can say, okay, I can take that as a little bit of wisdom and accept it as something that could be helpful to me. So always with any teacher, take what works for you and just feel free to throw out the rest. The body of anyone's work as a whole has a lot to do with them personally and might not apply to you. And in that, you might start getting caught up, and the title of this video includes, the first word is comparison. You might start looking at other people who are in the work or who are participating in wellness tools, or wellness practices, and using wellness tools that you're using, and they're working differently for them. They're seeing more success. You're seeing that they're able to stay more dedicated in their practice. They're, meeting the person of their dreams. They're manifesting the job that they've always wanted, and it's not working for you in the same way. And I want you in that moment to again understand how individual we are, how our stories are so different, and how even if something can feel good for you, it might not work the same for you. And it doesn't mean that the work is wrong or that you're necessarily doing it wrong. It's just you're in a different place. And with me, how comparison shows up and how I get tripped up on it is I see other people, other practitioners, other healers, other teachers, other guides who are sharing their work with the world that sometimes looks very similar to mine, and they might be experiencing different levels of success. They might be resonating more deeply with people that I would like to resonate with. They might be getting the bigger book deal. They might be traveling to the place I want to travel to, holding the event I want to hold. And in that time when I feel myself getting caught in that comparison trap, I have to truly ask myself, and this is the same for you. If you're seeing just people experiencing something that you want to experience and that's leading to frustration in you, when I see myself falling into that trap, I have to ask myself, how does this feeling serve me? Is it motivating or is it detracting? Is it defeating? How is this getting me closer to where I want to be? And you'll see that, that saying, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is not only the thief of joy. Joy as the final outcome, yes, it will definitely keep you from getting there, but it's also a thief of all the good that you can experience along the way, including motivation. When I'm spending my energy, and if you think of your energy as finite, because it is, right? We don't have infinite amounts of energy, just like we don't have infinite amount of hours in a day. When you think of your energy as finite, it's where am I spending it? Like, look at it as a bank account. And this is like a really silly lesson that I learned from Bethany Frankel in her really terrible book. I think it was Naturally Thin, which I totally bought and read because I was a Total Housewife junkie back in the day. Naturally Thin by Bethany Frankel. But she said, look at your diet like a bank account and how you're spending. It's like point system. It's like Weight Watchers. It's like all those things. But I look at energy in that way. And it's like, if I have like $100 of energy every single day, how much of my energy is spent hating on other people, calling out other people for being wrong or teaching the wrong way? Hating on myself because someone else got something better than me. How many of my dollars am I spending on that? 5, 10, 15? Am I consuming half of my day by being worried about what I'm not doing or how I'm not getting it right? Or can I take that whole $100 and invest in myself every single day? Can I invest in my education? Can I invest in my self-care? Can I invest in my self-nourishment, self-love? Can I invest in growing my knowledge, growing my empathy, growing my compassion, growing my experience? How can I take that $100 and invest it in a way that actually grows me so that maybe tomorrow I have $110 and maybe the next day becomes exponential. I have $150 and it keeps climbing and climbing and climbing and I'm just working off the interest because I've spent so much time nourishing myself and really investing in myself and taking my attention away from what is wrong and investing in what's right, that I actually grow my energy. I grow my energy bank account. So I talked to Rachel for a long time, and we were talking about what's happening in the spiritual wellness community and how there's lots of infighting and there's lots of people calling each other out and saying this person is teaching the wrong way and this person's doing that thing the wrong way and that person is causing harm. And let me tell you, it's true. It's happening. There are some messed up teachers out there teaching some messed up stuff. But I hope that you know that I have come to you in all my messiness. And I hope that it doesn't, when I do that in honesty and in vulnerability, I hope that that doesn't make you feel like I'm not able to lead or I'm not able to teach. I hope that it shows you that I'm very conscious in my work and very conscious of what I can do better and that I'm working on doing better every single day. And that I'm going to, in that knowledge of myself, extend that compassion and understanding to other people. So I'm going to let them do them. I'm going to let people resolve their own stuff and continue to be in their work. And I am going to be and create what I want to see in the world. And so when you find yourself comparing yourself to other people, wondering what you might be getting wrong, wondering why you're not so far ahead, ask yourself how much time, how much of your bank account you have been investing in other places instead of yourself. And if you invested that in yourself and you put your head down and you did your work and you stayed in integrity with what you thought was going to get you to the place you wanted to go, if you would have been investing in those spaces instead of those other spaces and other people's energy and other people's spots, how much you would be able to grow in that space. It's just investing wisely, spending wisely, budgeting your love in a way that nourishes you. Forgive me. Still getting over that cold. I love you. I love you. I love you. I will be back on Monday with new meditations. I'm so excited to share these live meditations with you every week. Remember, they go on YouTube. Remember to share them, please. It just helps spread the love. If you have comments, questions, suggestions, please put them below. I read everyone. I answer everyone. I love how you show up for me. I know that this talk today was a little bit all over the place, but it's something that I just want to get out because I just see so many people struggling and feeling like they are alone and saying that they're alone in their struggle or wondering why they're doing so much work and they're just not getting ahead. And there's lots of reasons for it, but it's always going to end up being your ultimate responsibility to bring the energy back to you and to love yourself in a way that grows you. And if it's too hard to love yourself alone, then you need to ask for help and bring in help and reach out for help. And that's why when you're searching for teachers and you're searching for lessons, to just take what works for you. Take what works for you, and what doesn't resonate, what doesn't align, what doesn't feel good, just feel free to toss it aside. Not everything has to be for you. And not everybody has to be totally for you to learn from them. There's a teacher in every single person, even the ones we don't like. All right? So I love you. I'll see you on Monday. I'm going to go back to bed. Take care of yourself.